Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today I got my brother on the line with me, and we're going to discuss an array of topics, including Akon, Vlad on Vlad TV. Might even get into a little Nick Cannon and whatnot, but Marcus Muhd, welcome back to the show, brother.
Thank you, sir, for having me on. How you doing?
Oh, man, pretty good, and we appreciate you being on, brother, because we appreciate your insight. And before we get started, Rock Conscious, what's up, Low Key, Gino, Jamal, we definitely A-Tone Productions in the house, Sanera Smith, and all the other the new subscribers and whatnot, man, that roll with us. And as I always say, that when you listen to this show, it's a knowledge-based show, and we have a community, and I appreciate everybody in that community, right? So that's what it is. But I was looking at Brother Ben X's show, and he was speaking on how Vlad purposely lied on Minister Farrakhan, and even though D.L. Hughley knew that Vlad was lying, he couldn't speak out and really say anything. He just can hold his head down like, man, I can't believe this dude saying that. And that was a reference to Minister Farrakhan's speech to Criterion when he was saying so-called Jews and throw the stone of truth till it knock out the brains of falsehood in that context. But Vlad repeated it as though Minister Farrakhan said, whenever you see him, throw stones, and he was talking about the Jews, and that wasn't true. But why do you think that they use celebrities against Minister Farrakhan? Why do they force these celebrities to either be silent or come against the minister? What's that purpose?
Well, most of the celebrities are in debt to the people that they're talking to, in one way or the other. And the person that they're talking to and speaking about the interview are in line with the producers that they are backed by, and the record labels, and all of those people that are together, man. So.
But
it's like
no, but I'm just going to ask real quick: How did the creativity of black people, of even creating hip hop, creating the style and dynamics of hip hop, how did it land in white people's hands?
Well, when the snake went and talked to Eve, it was just a little grass snake, and Eve gave it ear. And I'm not picking on women at all, period.
Right.
Talking about us. We gave the enemy ear. And after a while, the little snake, he turned around and it's dragging with his tail wrapped around the planet. And it got wings and a breath of fire. And you can't handle it anymore. And it has you subdued and arrested. And so you feel like now there's so much power behind what used to be just a little small whisper in my ear that I have to obey. It's either obey or I'm destroyed, or I leave, or I'm left with nothing. What I have is destroyed, or my family,
Right.
These people are ruthless when it comes to making us servitude human beings to them.
Even though we created them, or created that snake and gave it form and expression, we don't know how to corral it. Is it like Frankenstein in the sense where the mad scientist created Frankenstein, and then Frankenstein he couldn't control it, he just turned on everybody?
Right, you go to sleep and the snake, when you wake up, is a dragon.
Right.
So before you get your bearings together, you're gonna experience all kind of fear. You're gonna, by the threat of it, by the power of it, you gotta seek it for sustenance. If you a fool, if you don't know that God has come, so that's where they at, brother. It's a hostage video. When you see these interviews with these celebrities, they are on pins and needles.
Dang, that's like we sitting here and we looking at it. They talk black and rah 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 amongst us, and we saying, "All right, Father, finally." We united and we getting ready to overcome. And soon as you start getting a little faith in them and thinking it's headed, down the path it should go on, then all of a sudden they have them in front of these cameras and they tear them up, and now they looking like little puppy dogs. And it's like, damn, man, what happened to all that rah 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 strength you had when you was just coming up and we was supporting you? And but it's like the goal is to hustle of people to get some money so you can disassociate with them and move on about your business. I don't know what the hell going on, or it could be the fact that you didn't get it on your own merit, and he came and put the money behind you and made you and keep reminding that you was nothing till I found you, so you owe me for life.
Right. And it's blackmail. It is robbery. It's a whole lot of things, brother. Extortion. We just getting punked as a community of talent. The culture is being punked.
Yeah, that now would that have something to do with integration though? Because I always go back to when the Negro Baseball League was making more money at one point than the White League, and it didn't seem like there was any need to integrate. But after integration, the Negro League fell apart, and all the dollars and monies and the food sales and whatnot, it all went to the colonizers' market, and that revenue that we once had and shared is no longer there because they didn't take the profits from having black players in the white league and put that money back into the black community. They put it into their community, and we was bamboozled again.
And again. And it's all about that shiny object. This is the manifestation of the shiny object trick. You know what I mean?
Right.
They show up on the land, and it's like, wow, that is interesting, and let's see what that's all about. The curiosity. And then there is no rule, or I can't think of the right word right now, but you don't have you're not able to discern what is the truth and what is the lie. Right. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Because you're not used to.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
You're not used to a man or a people just coming out with an outright lie.
Right, but the Native Americans was like, hey man, he speak with a forked tongue. I mean, they were laying that message to us, saying, hey man, don't trust the white man. He speak with a forked tongue. He broke every treaty he made with us, and he has no reason to change, right? And you look on television and you see all these people now speaking out against white supremacy, but they're airing out their frustration with it, but not coming up with a solid solution on how to get rid of it. As I stated in a previous podcast dealing with QAnon, it's just refined. And now they have the QAnon, different name, but it's the same game, same playbook, right? And the thing that I'm always baffled about is we create a thing, but it seems like what we create, we don't know how to market it back to our people. And when I say our people, I'm talking about melanated people, black, brown, throughout the planet. We don't know how to get it to them or how to market it to them to where they accept it coming from us. Just like you hear people say, well, I've been telling you this truth all along, but you didn't believe it until a white person said it. What's that about?
Well, just like you just said, the Indians realized that what the people were when the treaties were broken. And by the time they realized what was going on, it was already a dragon in their midst. You feel me? Mm-hmm. They bought the shiny object. The Africans saw the shiny object coming, and they wanted more gold than they already had.
Right.
It's not like they didn't have gold. They were sitting on gold. They lived around gold. Gold wasn't nothing. Yeah. Gold was just something that you use as a tool. It was just gold. They break off a little bit of it because it was the most precious metal. It made you a little bracelet or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the guy came along and told a lie and said, we got more gold than what you already have for you. If you would only hand us over your brother. And then they handed over their brother and got their ass checked too. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the game goes.
There I go.
And the next thing you know, we chattel slaves.
All right.
But, you know, it's about their water being wetter than our water.
Right.
Because they're supreme. And, you know, Jesus said so. Because Jesus is blonde hair and blue eyed, you know.
Right.
We are subordinate. We are subjects. We are less. We are inferior. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just convinced of that. Nothing can convince us. No, I mean, and after all this has been going on, we still got so many of us that's still falling for the same trick. It's the same game over and over again because it's just so embedded in our minds that since it's lighter, it must be better.
Right. Damn, yeah, that's profound, brother. That's very profound. It's, you know, it's like you hear white people say, and Vlad kind of alluded to it when he was speaking to Akon. Kind of alluded the fact that, you know, he was saying that, you know, black people in America, you still walking around with last names as Jones and Johnsons and Luther and whatnot. But, and it was telling Akon, you know, in Senegalese, y'all can trace y'all history back, so and so, so and so. And Akon basically saying, well, black people in America need to get over it, right? But even though Africa was colonized too, and we did a history on that, but I'm going to stick to black people in America. Within our subconscious mind, we remember the horrors of slavery because we've seen the stench of it or the after effect of it on our grandparents and what all they had to do to maintain and survive, right? And then they had to take a small percentage of whether it was cleaning houses, sharecropping, or whatnot. They had to take a small percentage to try to purchase a little land or something and pass it forth to the next generation because they was doing that to put black people back in a position of what they once were prior to slavery, right? So we're like, damn, it's certain things we have to do. It's certain topics that has to be discussed, and there's certain truths that has to be put out there in the public. If not, then we don't want to repeat that horrific time and relegate ourselves back to a slave state, right? It's a slave of mind as well. So when they see black people speaking on racism and police brutality and systemic racism, those are the things that have to be fought so we don't recreate that horrible past, right? So just like the Jews, they don't forget the Holocaust, and they'll hunt down a Nazi till this day if he's still living. They can find one and deal with him for the atrocities that happened to them. But when we try to hunt down our oppressors, oh my God, it's like we're doing something wrong, right? Then some of us fight because we want to have them as partners, as a mate, because we feel like we can't get our credit together or get businesses together unless we got a right person behind us doing it. You know, it's like some of us made the right person the crutch to lean up on, that we can't do nothing for ourselves, right? But it's that fear, though. Why is that fear still lingering today, now that we are a big man, big boy, strong man? What's the fear for?
Because we haven't tried the wisdom. You have to try wisdom. Your wisdom is nothing. It's but knowledge, just some information in your head. But you got to try that knowledge in order for you to show forth some wisdom. You got to try that wisdom in order for that wisdom to for your efforts to show fruition, to come to fruition, to produce fruit. Mm-hmm. You got to get out there and you got to test what you know and what you feel, what you understand. You got to test it,
right?
And then once you see some progress, then you get a little more confident. And then you try again, you get a little stronger. And then you stay out there and keep going, then you realize, wow, this can be done. And then when you realize it can be done, then you get better at what you're doing. You know, it's just, we don't want to step out on faith. We think about that in church, you know, and I'm not going to cut your episode up again, brother. I'm going to say that right now because I felt one coming.
Is it?
Yeah. We sing these songs in church, brother, but we don't do nothing about what we sing. You know, these songs and these sermons and these screams and these yells and everybody, you know, I'm start talking in tongues since I can't cuss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We do all of that, but we don't really walk out on faith and do what we say. So how can we know and believe in what we're really talking about? Is it just a game? Is it just a fashion show every Sunday? What are you missing? Are you missing the music, the band? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, but that's because the science behind what they profess has not been broken down. It just becomes something that's rehearsed. They don't know the meanings behind the songs. They don't know why the slaves created these songs to sing out of the condition in which they were being treated, you know, and using it as a code, you know. They just going on what's rehearsed. So when you have wisdom and knowledge that comes through Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan, that is bringing wisdom and bringing knowledge and showing the science and mathematics behind the meaning and the etymology of words, then you have the gatekeepers, which is some of these pastors' job is to block it and don't you go over that, don't you listen to that, don't you do so and so, and they hear and they obey because you operating from a old antiquated knowledge that won't suffice in the modern times, and you reject wisdom and knowledge because your preacher tell you to reject it. And then it causes schizophrenia because you naturally yearn knowledge, naturally, but then somebody's trying to oppress it at the same time. And so you trying to get knowledge, they trying to oppress it. You trying to get knowledge, then they trying to oppress your knowledge. Till people be like, man, where the liquor at, where the drugs at? I'ma sit down. I'm tired of fighting. Whatever happened just happened. Then I done lost my will to live. And you see that all over the place, and people, they're gonna pay for that. True enough, but if we all were created with an inclination towards the Creator, then that spark that's inside of us gotta be lit up. We gotta light it ourselves up. We gotta recognize the time, man. The time we living in and what's actually going on, bro. It's like, how do you? I don't know. We keep doing shows like this and having guests such as yourself, to spark it. But time is moving so fast, bro. I mean, so much is going on to where if you behind and you just not getting it, you got to step up your game just to keep up with the times. I mean, how do we know he's a dragon, but how do we shorten the gap, bro? Or is it like Trump say, it is what it is?
No, you punch a bullet in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like you said, that fear is natural. But you punch a bullet in his mouth, man. Right. Or is the bully gonna keep bullying you? You know? Right. And a coward dies 1,000 deaths.
Yeah. Nah, go ahead, man. We riding. We riding, bro. It's Friday. Hey, it's easy Fridays, bro. Man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Then it's time for you to go. But you can't live being afraid of being taken out. Because then you being taken out every day of your life is dying 1,000 times, man.
Right.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If in your heart you see the enemy killing you, if you say this or if you do that, then you dead already walking. Not just mentally, he's half out of here. Because he controls you. You're a willing slave. And then you subject to repeat the same chattel slavery that you went through before. And, don't act like it's going on right now in parts of the world still. Not to mention human trafficking.
Right, that's a form of slavery.
This is going on in,
That's a form of slavery.
Yes, it's slavery. And much of this is going on right over there in old Acorn's neighborhood while he's talking that noise about what the black man and black woman in America ought to do. That's a prime example of people going back to what they already experienced because they haven't learned the lesson. You understand what I'm saying? For what I know, Senegal is rolling on these boys. China is rolling on these boys. Europe, the West, ain't never let up. So I don't see where he has the qualification to speak the way he spoke about what we are doing and how we are responding to the times.
Right.
Because he's proven the fact that if you don't learn from your past, then you're doomed to repeat the same thing in the future.
Fact.
And if Vlad got to check you, now Vlad, like I mentioned earlier, man, Vlad, that's how you got to have vision, man. You got to understand your enemy.
Right.
You got to not be afraid of your enemy.
Right.
Because he's going to handle you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's his.
He got an agenda. He got a mission. He got a reason and a purpose. If you ain't got nothing, you a Negro, you empty, you just his puppet, he gonna have you every time.
Every time.
If he own you,
right.
Every time, man.
Yeah.
If you got something, Yes, sir.
No, but I say they think Vlad is out there freestyling on his own. Vlad is backed by a larger community, and they sit up and they create topics, and they are systematically maneuvering these black guests that he has on this show to move them in the direction that they want them to go, little by little. They don't even see it happening to them. You know, but he's doing little by little. He gets you to come on. Yes, sir, brother.
To a large degree, yeah, I think so. But on another blast, they know better than we do. Because when I first heard of Vlad, I checked out one of his little shows. I don't know a lot about him. Vlad was standing next to me. I wouldn't know he was there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no about damn Vlad.
Right.
You know, but he's been doing what he's been doing for a long time.
Right.
So now he's assumed authority in the culture.
Right.
Like you say, now they're sending their artists through Vlad. It's almost like they got to send them through there to get debriefed.
Right.
Put them in front of Vlad so Vlad can ask these questions and see how you think about that, you know. And so they sit there. I'm telling you, every time I see him, the last time I seen a Vlad interview was Michael, I can't think of his name, but the brother that played Spawn.
Played in West Spawn?
Yeah, the brother that played Spawn in the movie.
Okay, right.
The movie Spawn.
Right.
Michael something, I can't think of his last name. But he handled himself pretty well, but I'm just listening to the twisted tongue that this fella called Vlad, you know. And so now every time I hear him, it's like you can feel the vibe that he is coming from not just a person who's interested in this artist in the art, but he's coming from a means of intelligence with a purpose to see how he can make this person look like he's a subordinate.
Right.
Now, why would he do that? That's a whole nother show. You know what I'm saying? But it's Vlad, and he has this brother sit down in front of him and ask him a question, and Akon was ready to play the game because he already know. That's why I'm saying some of them brothers and sisters already know. They know better than we do. Now the audience are dumb and get dumbfounded when things like this happen. But these celebrities already know the game. They playing it every day.
Right.
They see more than we do.
Right.
So he sat down and was like, yeah, you know, these niggas, I mean, you know, these people, they need to, get over it, man. And he's probably expecting Vlad to be like, yeah, exactly, they need to get over it. But Vlad was like, well, wait a minute, Akon, you're African. You know your history. You know where you can go back in your ancestry. I mean, you've been in your land, you know. And I felt this shock that Akon probably felt. Like, wait a minute, that ain't the way this normally go.
Right.
So it's like, Vlad is a good cop and a bad cop all in one person.
One person.
You know what I'm saying?
You divide and conquer.
You gotta watch the enemy. You gotta watch it.
Right.
And, Akon, he's supposed to be better than that.
Right.
To be honest with you, I was before today a fan of Akon. I can't tell you any of his songs, and I couldn't do that. But as far as him being a humanitarian and doing for his people whatever he can to lift them up, make his community better, I was pretty much cool with Akon, until today. Right. And now I just realized Akon is a trip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He know Akon. He got about 5 or 6 different names. They all African.
Right.
And he's trying to tell us who calling ourselves Jones and Smith that we need to get over it. As if we the same. Right. You can't equate what you're going through over there in Africa and what you've been through with what we've been through. Nobody can.
Nobody.
I don't care if you're talking about the Irish, the Italians, the Japanese. You can name them, but they all got their own name. Then if they got their own name, then the conversation over with.
Right.
They got their own culture. They own their own land.
Right.
They got, they can go back in generations to their ancestors. Come on, man.
Yeah, we can't.
Nobody, they did us the way they did us because the scripture says, at the end of time, there will be a people who will be despised and rejected, lost in the land for 400 years until I come and get them.
Right.
You show us who fit that description besides a black man and woman of North America, and then we'll talk about how much you suffer with your reparations in your pocket.
That's right. But yet, but you telling us to stop asking for reparation, we'll never get it.
But they got it.
Right, but you got yeah. Come on. But and not the fact.
I mean, it's gonna come a time where we're gonna be tired of people playing with us like that,
Right, and that's the game. See, it's like you got shows like this. You got a lot of conscious people that's putting messages out there to the overall black community, any place USA, right? And the more the more that they do a litmus test and see where the black community is, and they say, oh, well, it's knowledge. I mean, look at the style they trying to clean up. Then they'll release a video like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, the WAP,
right.
Or they'll come out with a new brand of liquor. It'll be something, man, or they'll come with a preacher that starts to sing Amazing Grace. It was something to put you back to sleep. And they got so many,
right.
They use the same tricks, but they got different tricks, They come out with a new drug or a new shock song that take your attention off of the task at hand. I mean, they geniuses with that move, but the people got to stop being fooled by it and know that it's a game, because this is what happens. This is what happened, Brother Mark. The people, it'll be brand new. But the people know, well, man, I'm up on this knowledge. I'm getting information that's good. And they say, well, you know what? I'm going to stick a pin in this knowledge and let me ride this train that the enemy put out there just to see if it's something on it for me. Before you know it, they done took you on a ride and turn somewhere else, and now you're lost, and it's hard to get back to that original knowledge that you stuck a pin in thinking you was going to pick it back up after you just went and explored what Satan put out there just to see what it is. Then you get caught up in the game.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean,
like the scripture says. Go ahead.
No. The scripture says.
Oh yeah, it's a story in the scripture where 2 men had talents, and one buried his talent, and the other one had his talent in his hand and went to work with it. When the God came back, he asked the one who buried his talent. He had less talents than the one who did something with his talent. And he's like, the God was like, what you doing? And he's like, I was afraid to lose his little talent. And that's us. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you just described. We're afraid to work what we have, man. We don't want to do nothing unless we committed to do it by our oppressor.
Right.
Who gives talent? Who's the giver of gifts?
You so right. Bro.
Our focus is not on what we're supposed to be doing. He said to multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. He didn't say go over there and ask that other man what you need to do. We all come on the planet with instructions already and with purposes. And we don't need to ask permission from nobody for nothing. The only permission we need to ask is of the God who gave us our purpose. And if you wake up in the morning, that means you got permission. Go to work.
We looking.
And if you have trouble with another man telling you how you need to do it and when you need to do it and what you need to do, then that is your enemy. Let's stop playing games.
Yeah, you right, bro. You right, absolutely.
Doing your thing, and you dignified and you take care of business, and then somebody tell you you're a monkey. You know what I'm saying? That's your enemy.
Right. That's right.
You're raising your family, and you're doing good for your community, and then somebody drive through and they call on some lights on it, and start aiming a pistol at the children, you don't go ask for forgiveness for the person.
That's right.
What you do, though. That's your enemy.
That's
What's
right.
the fucking? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's so hard to understand about it, man?
Right.
You don't understand who your enemy is?
Right. He even showing you he the enemy. But
He ain't apologize for nothing.
Nothing, bro.
You giving forgiveness to somebody who never even asked for forgiveness. That's not what an enemy does. You don't ask for forgiveness.
Man,
he's getting ready to do the same thing to you again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when you said talent, right? It's like the value of our talent isn't worth anything unless the slave master says it's worth something. And then then the slave master's Negroes, they'll sit around and know it's talent, but they can't endorse the talent until the white man endorses it first. So they waiting to say, well, the white man got to put a stamp on your talent in order for us to get behind you.
Right.
You know?
Even if they don't want to, they're going to do it, you know. If the white man got you in rotation on the radio, they're coming to your concert.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the white man puts you in rotation. You was doing the same thing 5 years ago.
Right.
In the hood.
Right.
On your little YouTube channel.
Yeah.
On SoundCloud, you're doing the same exact thing as before. The enemy came and got you. I'm talking about I'm not saying all white people got.
Right.
But I'm just saying, if the corruptor, you just say it like that, then. If the corruptor comes get you and put you on the radio and you doing the same exact thing, why are you ready to go to the concert now? Why he your dog now?
Right.
Why now all of a sudden you your own boy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They've been doing it.
Why you couldn't support, matter of fact, why you ain't get some copies and go spread it around in the head and get a percentage of it?
Right. Yeah,
you get you $30
Yeah.
for the man rapping.
Come on.
Instead of waiting on somebody outside of the community come get him and make him a quote unquote star.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Well, I understand this, but look at this. Nah, the God don't come here and bless erroneous foolishness. You get it right, and then the God can represent you.
Right. Fact. Makes a lot of sense, brother. Yeah, these are topics and things that in order to move to the next stage of evolvement, these things got to be ratified. There's no way around it, because time will erase you. Because as time moves forward and a person is stagnant, as time moves forward and that person still remains stagnant, that person will get lost in time, and then they become then they just fade away. You know, that mind power, that brain power to think beyond where you at and cast your thoughts in the future to where you have a vision and expression of that future. That's what I don't want to use the term hope, but that's what goes to create a solid foundation for a future. I mean, if you can't think beyond where you at today, and if your thinking is still, let's say, in the 50s, and it's 2020, and you haven't conquered or solved certain issues because you waiting on the slave master or the Caucasian to give you your marching orders, and it's not in his best interest to give you your marching orders, then you'll render yourself or you will relegate yourself back into a slave state. That's just the law of nature. That's mathematics. It's nothing you can't go around. There's nothing you can do with it. It's like your whole. It's like the community. Some portions whole facet of life is waiting on guidance from Washington, D.C., from out that White House. But knowing and haven't figured it out yet that your best interest is not in their hearts or not even in their plans. That's why the same thing is keep going on and on and on and on again, bro. What you saying, bro?
No, I'm bearing witness, bro. Bearing witness.
Yes, sir.
Because I see him playing that. Hey, his last trick is his woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But hold on, Mark.
Here we go.
That's right. But brother Mark, but does his woman have a color to it, or is it just his woman?
It's his woman.
It ain't got no color to it.
Yeah, it got a color.
But could a black woman be his woman if he controlling her?
Bruh, he's putting black men in dresses. It's his woman.
Come on.
For real.
For real.
Here we go with this game. They're getting ready. They're all playing hard right now. This is hard. They're playing hardball, bro.
Right.
It's like it's about 2 months to go for this election, and they playing hardball. You know, man. He might have made a mistake, or he might not have made a mistake.
That's see.
Fine guy. But either way it goes, my thing is, we damned if we do, and we damned if we don't.
Fact. Yeah,
because it's the same old game, like you say.
Yeah.
We gotta choose over Satan or Beelzebub.
Yeah, because Biden got a track record of going against black interests with the busing situation. Then he come with the "you ain't black if you don't vote for me." Then he come and said black folks not diverse in they thinking. Then he got and his track record, but then Trump got a track record for where they wouldn't allow black tenants in the apartments that they own, and
right.
It's good people on both sides, and so we look. It's like, wow, man, this is the choices we got.
His daddy was KKK.
Daddy was KKK.
Your daddy can't be KKK, and you ain't influenced by it.
Right.
Just
So,
like Bill Gates and his daddy with Planned Parenthood. You know, they both playing eugenics.
right.
They both playing around. They both playing around with population control.
So
yeah.
in the only
got.
Is that right? Then we got.
So now you got 2 prison pipeliners.
Right.
On one side, and you got the mega slave owners again on the other side.
Right.
Both sides of slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We
think we got a stake in this place the way it is, the way we are. No, and you know you can't go back to colonialized Africa because Akon just told you that.
Right.
He laughed talking about, hey, black people, they scared to go to Africa. Man, please, let me tell you what the irony is. We scared of a whole lot of things, but we ain't scared to go back to Africa, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
He got, just like Vlad had to check him and say, man, you got the money and the time and the resources to go travel all over the world. Black people in America don't get to touch much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But going back to Africa is nothing that black people in America are afraid of.
Right.
Get that right. You know what I mean? And if we did, we going back to apartheid. So,
right.
Come on, Akon.
Right. Come on, bro.
Me and you, brother, we was ready to get the motherland right before the corona hit. You know what I'm saying? You got the You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We're ready to go.
Ready to roll.
Corona here. We still going.
That's right.
And I want to see Akon meet us and greet us and host, give us, be a proper host.
That's right.
We're so damn scared.
That's right.
I know brothers that went to Africa. I know sisters that went to Africa and stayed.
That's right.
We're not scared of going to damn Africa.
No.
We want to be where we got power and influence over our own reality.
Right.
No matter where we are.
Plus, our ancestors had this land before the Caucasian came.
Right.
We were here. A lot of us was here, and a lot of us came from Africa. So, we got to get that straight, bro. We got to get that straight. But yeah, brother Mark.
Right.
I mean, all of this has to be brought forth, especially in this time that we living in, because it's so much going on. But this is almost like the precursor to the beginning of a new era after this election, because everything is out in the open. I mean, we dealing with the real deal. And they trying to tell us the only light at the end of the tunnel for us is Kamala Harris. But as you stated, her track record on locking up black men is wild. You know, she married to a white man.
Breaking records.
Yeah. And some people say,
white man.
Right. And some people say that you can't talk black and sleep white, but then maybe you can in this day and era. I don't know, but it's so much going on, bro.
And people have an argument about her not being all the way black American, you know, which she ain't, but, you know, hey, you know, environment breeds heredity. So maybe she caught on, apparently she caught on to something
Right.
for the time that she's been here, because if you didn't know a whole lot about her, she would be a shiny object.
Yup. There you go. Flash it in your face, huh?
Stuff and fix stuff, you don't know. But she's hooking you up the whole time, man.
Got you again,
Got you again.
God damn, bro. We can't. They gonna file for the Okie though, man. Man, we gotta make it a little harder this time, though. Y'all, it's gonna take a little more effort to trick us nowadays, bro.
I don't know, man, because Obama sung Amazing Grace, and you can't say nothing of black motherfucker.
Ever, man. Soon as I hear him warm it up in
Obama to nobody.
For real, bro.
You know, we're not ready to hold nobody accountable. You know, we feel like the victory is won just because the woman got nominated. You know,
right.
we can go back and wait on the master to clear up the virus now, and so things can get back right.
Man, I know when it's coming up, when it's getting ready to come on, brother Moore. It be quiet, right? All of a sudden it gets silent, and I know it's finna happen. Then all of a sudden you hear is, man. I'm like, oh, God. Man, turn that shit. Man, I take off running, bro. I can't. Yeah, I'm like, hey, man. I got a lot to do. I don't have time to go to sleep right now. It's the middle of the day. And you're not finna put that spell on me, bro. I take off. I'm gone. Keep that shit to yourself. They put that spell on you in a minute. It's like a dog whistle, man. Time for hit, some start. Yeah. Some start crying and some start rocking. Yeah. I'm like, damn, that's it, man. I mean, it just.
The head dropping, the hands going.
Look, they was, man. You see, you was standing up erect. All of a sudden, got a hump come in your back, and you lean over. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. They get it. They get us with that one. Play the drum, then get us out of here. Yeah, they come on, it's over after that shit. They march us back on plantation after that one shit. You know?
We can go on back on to in the shack. Forever, man.
And that's a code for the slave master. Because when the slave master hear it, he know, okay, woo, everything still running smooth. You know.
Right.
He know it. He let me see one of them Negro spiritual. And it's on. It's on, boy. Sorry, but that's where we at, Brother Mark. Man, I always, man, appreciate you, brother. You know, it's sometimes we have to make it lighthearted just to deal with the madness that's going on, bruh. You know? I mean, it's so, meaning, bro, we could never run out of topics. It's so much. I mean, it's so much stuff that we didn't touch on. I mean, police brutality is still going on. It ain't stopped. People, they just heard words at incidents, but no real solid solutions. I mean, it's just madness, bro. But you know.
And that's the thing, bro. We speaking for everybody who's listening. We speaking from a viewpoint of solutions. There are solutions behind the things that we say.
That's right.
Believe it or not. But you probably need to go and speak with the one who has the solution.
Right.
You need to go and consult with the one whose job it is to deliver the solution.
That's right.
Rather than just picking it up off of a podcast right here. I mean, we can talk about it. We probably will be talking about it. But, hey, you know, this is a podcast. We know how you are.
Right.
We want entertainment. And
right.
The brother told me, man, let's have a feel-good Friday. That's what we're doing today.
Right.
So, you know, we might have a little levity to it.
Come on.
Talk about these detrimental situations in these great and dreadful days. But at the end of the day, man, we got to make a move on the solutions.
Yeah. Well, facts, bro. Facts. Have to.
Thank you for having me on the show, brother. It's always an honor to come on and speak with you and, you know, go over what's happening and what can be done about it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, brother, and we appreciate it. And this is Verbal Pig Radio, and we out.